It's Tuesday, July 14th. Ottawa police are investigating an overnight assault at the corner of Rideau and Dalhousie.
A yellow warning remains in effect with the hottest temperatures of the heat wave expected this afternoon.
And the province says it's sending more financial aid to residents impacted by last week's Canada Day floods. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Morning to you. Here we go. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And as we take a look at the next couple of days, probably our top story, and we're into the summer heat right now, but it's starting to get to the point where we have some risks involved with that.
Absolutely. The heat warning remains in effect, and believe it or not, it's going to be a little bit hotter today than it was yesterday. So I'll break down the full forecast details for you in a few minutes.
We need that.
We're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market area. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area at around 10 p.m. An adult man was assessed on scene and taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. Environment Canada says today could become the hottest day of the year in Ottawa, with humidex values expected to reach 43 degrees. There won't be much relief overnight, with temperatures expected to only drop to the low 20s. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. We have an update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by the flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barrhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. Toronto police have identified two men shot dead at a crowded street festival over the weekend and say they were targeted. The mayor and police chief spoke at a news conference Monday afternoon.
And the violence at Salsa on St. Clair was reckless and disgusting. It happened at a crowded festival with families enjoying a beautiful summer night.
Shaquan Kwashi and Cesar Vernaza were killed in gunfire that erupted on Saturday evening at an event that 13,000 people were attending. 5 others were injured. The police chief says some of them were innocent bystanders. Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard has been found guilty of sexual assault and forcible confinement on charges related to incidents dating back to the late 1990s. The now 84-year-old Nygard accepted a plea deal and did not present any evidence in his defense. The assault took place at the 84-year-old's Montreal penthouse between November 1997 and November 1998. The Quebec case is separate from Nygard's conviction in Ontario, where he was sentenced to 11 years in prison on sexual assault charges. He is also facing similar charges in the United States. Nygard started his clothing company in Winnipeg in 1967. It would become one of the largest fashion companies in Canada. And on a lighter note, in Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or a raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they'll buy you a drink, no costume required.
Now, I know I've been off, but I promise it wasn't me, okay? I was at the cottage. I was not a part of that.
Now you're going to look if you have that little costume.
Yeah, keg party at my place this weekend, though, yeah.
The Petawawa residents rang in her wedding anniversary last month with a lucky lottery win.
Yeah, this is Kathy D, who matched the last 6 of 7 encore numbers in the June 10th Lotto 649 draw. That was all she needed to land the $100,000 prize that came in on her 37th wedding anniversary. The mother of 5 and grandmother of 14 described her win as amazing and overwhelming.
The winning ticket was purchased at Becker's on Petawawa Boulevard.
Wow. And a mom of 5 and a grandma of 14. Think of all the ways that you would want to spend that money on your little ones, your loved ones.
I'm going to take a guess that all of that money is going to go to all of the grandchildren and all of the kiddos, because that 100 grand will go quick.
Absolutely, especially with 14 grandkids. That's a whole whack of grandkids.
Absolutely wild.
Amazing. Our forecast today, it's going to stay hot today. If you maybe liked yesterday, maybe you didn't. Regardless, it has another hot one. It's even hotter today than it was yesterday. Absolutely. So the heat warning still in effect for us here in the city. That is the pink we're seeing here on your screen. So this is for Ottawa, Hawkesbury, Cornwall, Smiths Falls, Brockville, the Valley, and areas out along the 401. We do also have a severe thunderstorm watch. We could see damaging hail, wind, of course, thunder and lightning as well. And this is the yellow part you see on your screen. So this is affecting areas in Montreal as well as north of us, like out in Maniwaki. So just keeping that in mind. We're seeing a severe thunderstorm watch in some areas, and for us here in Ottawa, a heat warning. Already a little bit sticky to start off your day, 21 degrees already this hour, so it is a very warm start to your morning. With the humidity this hour, feels like 27 already in Ottawa. So yes, not a lot of relief overnight and early this morning, but still a better time to get out and do outdoor activities if you have anything to do, like go for a walk or walk the pets, and that's because it will be even hotter into your afternoon. Not registering quite yet in Kingston. 31 is how it feels in Trenton, 26 in Brockville, 28 so far out in the valley. So a little bit cloudy out there this morning. You could see this gray on your screen. We are expecting cloudier conditions to start your day off, but we will still see some sunshine, so still a lot of sunny breaks throughout the day ahead. Then late this afternoon, similar to yesterday, we could see these spotty showers, risk of thunderstorms for us here in the city late this afternoon. It looks like after 5 p.m. and before about midnight, so that's when we could see some active weather on the way. Similar to yesterday, just a slim chance, so some areas may stay completely dry, some areas may get a little bit of wet weather or some active weather. It will clear up in time for tomorrow morning, and we do have a break from the heat and humidity as we head into Wednesday. Today's daytime high 35 degrees. With the humidex, we'll feel closer to 43, so very, very warm into the afternoon. It will be very humid, very muggy into the day ahead. 34 in the Valley, Bancroft, as well as in Trenton, 35 in Kingston today. The Seaway will sit at 34, same within Petawawa, 35 over in Gatineau. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Won't be nearly as hot tomorrow. We'll get a bit of a break from the humidity. 20 is the overnight low, so still staying pretty sticky overnight tonight. Into your day tomorrow, 29 is the high. We'll feel closer to 31, so still a hot day, just not nearly as hot as it has been today or yesterday. 29 is also the high for Thursday, where we could see some spotty showers. Then as we head into Friday and through the weekend, some relief on the way, especially into the overnight. Temperatures in those mid-20s, but it won't be nearly as humid into your afternoon. On your roads this morning, here's a look at your traffic, and so far so good. We're not seeing any major issues or collisions on the drive-in. However, we have started to see traffic a little bit earlier over the last 2 weeks, so just keep that in mind. We will start to see some volume building probably within the next half hour. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Matt Scooby in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday for it. We head to the Home Run Derby in Philadelphia. In the final round, Jordan Walker needed 4 home runs in 4 swings to beat Kyle Schwarber. And after getting 3 in a row, he crushes one deep into the Philly night sky and gone. Walker with a walk-off shot in the Home Run Derby. His 2026 salary, just under $800,000, but he won $1 million for that. He claims your must-see moment for Monday. And today on TSN, it's the first semifinal at the FIFA World Cup. France taking on Spain. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
And thank you, Mr. Scooby. Always good when you join us on these early mornings. Taking a peek outside, heat warning remains in effect. It is going to be a toasty one. Humidex values into the low 40s. Daytime high of 35. So making sure that we are plenty hydrated as the week continues on. We have much more to come here on the show. Cruising up to 6:12 on your Tuesday. We'll be right back.
It's 6:14. Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Ottawa police are investigating an overnight assault at the corner of Rideau and Dalhousie. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. And support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital is now activated. Now we're going to check out the forecast.
Ooh, it is going to be another hot and toasty one. Yesterday was already hot and humid, but today we are leveling up. We are into that yellow warning, which means heat warning continues on for another day. Temperatures reaching 35 degrees this afternoon, feeling like 43 when you include the humidex value. So definitely a concern. We want to be aware that we're aware of some heat stroke, dizziness, red spots, and always make sure we're staying hydrated through the day. Very minimal reduced heat overnight. So what that means is, as we approach the overnight window, we are going to continue to see the hot and humid temperatures. Do what we can to stay cool, friends. Melissa breaks down the rest of the week coming up a little bit later on. Let's take a peek at your roads on your Tuesday morning commute. We are cruising up to 616. Everything's smooth sailing as of right now. I think it's either a AC on full blast or windows down as we drive tight morning. No collisions at this time. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning ahead.
It is an unimaginable situation for families and parents. Learning your child is critically ill and you have to travel to another city to support them. But a new expansion at the Ronald McDonald House here in Ottawa is helping more families navigate that in the comfort of what is meant to be a home away from home. It's located just steps from the CHEO Hospital. CTV's Kimberly Johnson took a tour yesterday.
It was a moment that shattered her world when Michelle Neal learned her daughter Grace was sick.
You don't really focus on the other needs that you have, which is, eat, sleep.
18-month-old Grace was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 2024, a type of cancer that forms in certain nerve tissues. While she underwent cancer treatments at CHEO, the family from Iroquois Falls, near Timmins, would find themselves here at Ronald McDonald House for 4 months.
Calm everything that was traumatic going on in the background and just allowed us to be present for Grace while they took care of us.
Together, We have added 25,000 square feet.
Now, more rooms and space have been added, allowing 13,000 families to stay here each year. The expansion marked on Monday with an official celebration.
You'll see lots of space for families to spread out.
The rooms have doubled from 14 to 36, with 1- and 2-unit family suites. New family-focused amenities have been added, game and movie rooms, and a living room space with toys for young kids. Also, now a bigger kitchen and dining area.
Provide a space for families to bring in their own food, make their home-cooked meals just like they would at home, share those meals sometimes with other families, which is a really special experience.
The $24.6 million expansion is funded by federal and provincial grants as well as donors. It eliminates the wait list for families that can come as far away as Nunavut.
Children need their parents to be well, to have their best healing journey, and parents that are stressed about trying to travel and afford somewhere to be close to their child, it's really exactly what this house does, is avoid that stress.
Today, Grace is cancer-free, and the Neals say this new space enhances the vital support that was already here.
It's a whole different environment for families to heal, families to process.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Thanks, Kimberly. Switching gears now, the city's emergency and protective services manager is apologizing after they did not notify residents of a fireworks display at Blues Fest last week. The fireworks were unused from Canada Day, and it was decided to use them for the opening night of Blues Fest as it was safer to set them off than to remove them. Residents were frustrated about the decision because of the late night noise during the middle of the week. And then others were frustrated that they weren't given an opportunity to see the show. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts. And Bill, I already see you shaking your head. I wonder, which side are you on here?
The most Ottawa of Ottawa stories, isn't it? That, you know, you had 2 people shot at a festival in Toronto. And here we're upset because somebody set off some fireworks unexpectedly. Come on. Who are these people? 30-something people called in to complain. Hello? They're using fireworks at Blues Fest. Well, okay. What if one of the headlining acts had decided to set off a couple of fireworks at the end? Would this have been a big deal? And I'm trying to sleep. Same thing happened in our neighborhood. I bet it happened in most neighborhoods. Maybe not to the extent of a full Canada Day firework display, but the next night, all of us had to get up for work in our neighborhood. I heard some of the neighbors using the fireworks. Startled me. My eyes opened. I thought, oh, I bet they're using the fireworks they didn't get to use on Canada Day. And then I rolled over and went back to sleep. Okay, I get it. It was interesting, a curiosity. Geez, I didn't know there was going to be such a big fireworks show. And then CTV News looks into it and they tell you, well, it was the fireworks that they didn't use on Canada Day because it was unsafe to decommission them, better to just shoot them up in the air. Why not at the end of a concert when people are downtown anyway? Could they have maybe informed some residents to take a look out your window, but we prefer you don't come to the area because there's already 40,000 people there for a concert? Maybe. But is it this big a deal? No. If the people in my neighborhood set off fireworks the day after Canada Day start doing it every week, I'll call the city and make a noise complaint. Until then, could we just relax, get out of bed, take a look out the window, enjoy the moment, go back to bed and shut up?
You know, Bill, and they do go hand in hand. I know that obviously they weren't used from Canada Day, but fireworks, opening night is Blues Fest. I would imagine maybe to be prepared for something like that anyway, just given the concert.
I think it was a perfect idea. Seriously, you're right. We have to use these fireworks because it's too dangerous to put them back in the boxes. Okay, the big finale of Blues Fest. Excellent plan. Could we just applaud the city for coming up with that idea and move on with our lives?
That's not how it works, though, is it, Bill, in our world that we live in?
No. No, it doesn't.
All right, Bill, you know what? Regardless of that, you have yourself a wonderful Tuesday, and I know I won't be disrupting you tonight. I'll make sure you get a good sleep.
No, I think nature might provide some fireworks tonight with thunderstorms. We'll see.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that way. Thanks, Bill.
I've had people complain about that, too. Mayor Sutcliffe, what's with all the lightning? I mean, come on. Get over yourself.
That's where we go to Melissa, okay? That's the one. She takes the heat for all that. Later, Bill.
Correct. See you guys.
All right, you can listen to the Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on Newstalk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 till 10. We'll take a peek outside. Heat warning in effect, as Bill and I were just kind of talking about at the end there. Temperatures 35. It'll feel like 43 with the Humidex values today. A hot and muggy one. 6:22 on your Tuesday. Much more to come here on Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Tuesday. If you didn't already know, if you stepped outside yesterday or today, the heat wave continues rolling through the capital. We'll tell you what to expect with climatologist David Phillips just after the 7 o'clock news, especially how to beat the heat. And that is our question today on the show. How do you manage to stay cool during these heat waves? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca, and I'll fire it over because how do you stay cool, but then how do you manage to keep the kids cool during this time as well? Because I feel like that's a whole different aspect of the story.
Very lucky, and a very simple answer. My parents have a pool.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's not heated, so it's just the natural temperature. So I think yesterday was 80 degrees, which when it's that hot outside, it does feel refreshing still. Like it's still at the refreshing stage. So I pick up my kids from daycare and I said, we're going for a swim. Thankfully, my parents are literally 3 minutes away from us, so we pretty much stop by. It's our summer routine. We pack up our lunch and our dinner. We pick up our kids. We stop by my parents. We go swimming for a few hours. We bring my mom and dad dinner.
Yes.
Yes,
nice.
Nigel usually cooks in the afternoon. We serve them a nice home-cooked meal, and we use their pool.
Just the perfect amount of balance, right? A little bribery, a little we'll take care of you.
Nigel made a pulled pork the other day, a smoked chicken. He makes like gourmet food, so he brings them like very fancy gourmet, and they're not going to say no to
You're
that.
both spoiling each other. You're
Exactly.
spoiling the grandparents with a nice home-cooked
home-cooked meal.
and then they, offer up the pool.
Exactly.
This is
Free
fantastic.
pool. It's a win-win.
I'm going to have to talk to Nigel because I haven't seen any of this gourmet cooking. Why am I the first to hear this now?
I'm very spoiled.
Oh, man. All right. We found out how Melissa and the family stays cool. A little bribery never hurt nobody. We'll be hearing from you a little bit later on the show. We're asking how do you manage to stay cool during these heat waves. Let us know your morning Ottawa at CTV.ca. We will be right back with all your news headlines.
On the nose, come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up, we will let you know just how hot it's going to get and potentially maybe setting a daytime record high for the day today. We'll also have your very limited FIFA World Cup update as there's only a few teams remaining now. Hard to believe that we're already at that point.
Absolutely, but exciting. Big games. Yeah.
Just like that, we're down to the wire. I felt like we had 6, 7 games on a day, and now maybe one a day. Only a few left.
It's crazy.
That is going to be exciting, no doubt about it. I think it is France versus Spain today. So I know a lot of folks are going to be hanging on the edge of their seat watching that this afternoon. Looking forward to that. We got your top stories right now. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area around 10 p.m. An adult man was assessed on scene and taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. Environment Canada says today could become the hottest day of the year in Ottawa, with humidex values expected to reach 43 degrees. There won't be much relief overnight, with temperatures expected to only drop to the low 20s. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. An update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by the flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that has claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving, causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. Toronto police have identified two men shot dead at a crowded street festival over the weekend and say they were targeted. The mayor and police chief spoke at a conference Monday afternoon.
And the violence at Salsa on St. Clair was reckless and disgusting. It happened at a crowded festival with families enjoying a beautiful summer night.
Shaquan Kwashi and Cesar Venaza were killed in gunfire that erupted on Saturday evening at an event that 13,000 people were attending. 5 others were injured. Police chief says some of them were innocent bystanders. Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard has been found guilty of sexual assault and forcible confinement on charges related to incidents dating back to the late 1990s. The now 84-year-old Nygard accepted a plea deal and did not present any evidence in his defense. The assault took place at the 84-year-old's Montreal penthouse between November 1997 and November 1998. The Quebec case is separate from Nygard's conviction in Ontario, where he was sentenced to 11 years in prison on sexual assault charges. He is also facing similar charges in the United States. Nygard started his clothing company in Winnipeg in 1967. It would become one of the largest fashion companies in Canada. And in Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or a raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they'll buy you a drink. No costume required.
And after a great run, Brooke Henderson falls short of winning another major championship.
Changing the dynamic
Smiths Falls own Henderson earned $835,000 over the weekend for her second place finish at the Evian Open tournament in France. Henderson lost by 1 stroke in a playoff.
She'll try again at the AIG Women's Major Open in England 2 weeks from now.
Oh, so close.
So close. I was watching this. Also got an ace in the tournament as well. So really started to climb and cut into the lead. wasn't enough, but she just keeps on rolling and ripping the country in such a great way.
The ace is a hole-in-one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just for people who maybe not up to date with their golfing lingo.
Very important that you say that. Also important was the reaction was where like normally you'd go crazy, make sure everyone feels it, you run to the hall, say, you get it? Oh yeah, like it's just like obviously it's happened before.
Yeah.
Just shows the difference from the professionals to the average Joe.
I'd be in disbelief.
I would too. I'd run up to the hill, make sure we got all the content. It's real, I promise you. Tell the clubhouse to be a whole shebang.
I've seen my dad do it once, and like it was on a par 3, so it was like pretty close to the tee. But we were in such disbelief until we got there. We couldn't find his ball. He thought he hacked it, and then we get to we're like, oh,
in the hole.
It's in the hole. So yeah, it was pretty incredible to see.
What a
no
nice
prize
surprise.
money though.
So satisfying,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No $835,000.
No $1 million prize, unfortunately.
Just glory.
Just glory, exactly. And I think I was too young to even realize and buy him a drink after, so he probably bought my lunch, unfortunately. Poor dad. Mainly cloudy skies this morning. We could see some thunderstorm activity into the afternoon, and yes, another hot and sticky day. And really this week will stay hot, but the heat warning should be over hopefully by tomorrow, as temperatures won't be nearly as humid as we head into Wednesday. It is already a hot and sticky day this morning, but it is going to get worse into the afternoon. We are already sitting at 21 degrees so far at 6:30 this morning. So it just goes to show you how hot it will be later on this afternoon. 23 in Kingston, 22 in Brockville, 21 in Pembroke. Temperatures are all registering right now. This is how temperatures feel this hour. 31 already is how it feels in Kingston, 27 in Ottawa, 28 in the Valley, as well as over in Montreal, 26 in Cornwall, 31 as well in Trenton. So hot and sticky already this morning to start your day off, and it will get worse, unfortunately, into the afternoon. The good news is it's quite cloudy out there this morning, so not a lot of sunshine, so it's not going to feel overly hot throughout your early morning hours. But then this afternoon, when we start to see a bit more sun and it will get a little bit warmer, definitely will feel the hot and sticky conditions. We could see some active weather later on today. It looks like mainly in the overnight is when we could see some active weather on the way. At risk of thunderstorms tonight, we could see some spotty showers 5 o'clock and then right through into your overnight. It will clear up in time for early tomorrow morning. Sunshine on the way for Wednesday. Thursday, we could see some spotty showers, but then clear Friday. And really overall, we will see a lot of sunshine as we head into the work week ahead. Orange and red on the back of our screen, that shows you how hot it will be, and we could break a record today. 35 degrees is the daytime high. We'll feel closer to 43. Now, the last record was set back in 2012 of 35 degrees, so we'll have to wait and see if we break that into your afternoon. 36 in Kempville, 34 in Bancroft, as well as out in the Valley today and along the Seaway, 35 in Gatineau. So hot and sticky across the region for today. There is that heat warning still in effect. It does extend through Cornwall, Hawkesbury, Ottawa, out in areas in the Valley, of course, Smiths Falls, Brockville, and along the 401. Temperatures in some areas could feel closer to 45 degrees today, so keep that in mind for us here in Ottawa. It's expected to feel around 43. There is a severe thunderstorm watch as well. This is for areas along Montreal and north up in Maniwaki. You could see damaging hail, winds, possible tornadoes as well, and of course thunder and lightning. So keep that in mind. We could even see that issued for us here later on today. Sometimes these watches do take effect as these storms do decide to move, so we'll have to wait and see what happens later on this afternoon, but just keep that in mind that we could see that change. 35 today will feel closer to 43. 20 is the overnight low, so not a lot of relief tonight. Tomorrow, 29 is the high. Not nearly as humid. We'll feel closer to 31. 29 is also the high for Thursday. Then a little bit of relief on the way in through the weekend. Temperatures back into those mid-20s, of course. That will feel a much nicer temperatures for us here, as it won't be nearly as humid as we head throughout the weekend forecast.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
There is a collision already eastbound right now on the 417 at Carling. Traffic is also backed up right through to Bayshore. Collision eastbound on the 417 at Innes Road as well. So a couple of early morning collisions. Make sure you give yourself some extra time. We're already starting to see a few delays as well.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are learning more about this weekend's fatal shooting at a Toronto street festival. We got CTV's Scott Hurst. He'll join us next with the latest. Here's a live look through our Skycam. It's going to be another hot and humid day. 6:41, you're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. 6:44, here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Ottawa police are investigating an overnight assault at the corner of Rideau and Dalhousie. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. Today could be the hottest day of the year in Ottawa. And the province says support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital could be coming soon. Another day under a heat alert in the capital. We got to check out the forecast with Melissa.
And it will be hotter today than it was yesterday. A high of 35 degrees today. We'll feel closer to 43 with that humidity. We will see a mix of sun and clouds. Still a little bit cloudy out there this morning, but already feels closer to 27 this hour. Risk of thunderstorms late in the afternoon and through your overnight. 20 is the overnight low. A break tomorrow from the humidity, but still staying hot. A high of 29 degrees. Mix of sun and cloud. That's also the high on Thursday, where we could see some spotty showers. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your traffic. And yes, we do have a couple of collisions this morning on your drive-in, and you can see volume is starting to build as well. So we are starting to see some volume. Eastbound on the 417, it's a little slow from the 416 split off and on in through Bronson this morning. And we do have a couple of collisions eastbound on the 417 at Carling. So traffic is all the way backed up past Bayshore. We also have another collision eastbound on the 417 at Innis. Rosie.
Toronto police have identified the two people killed Saturday after a shooting at the Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival. The chief of police in Canada's largest city, meanwhile, says he wants illegal guns to stop coming into Canada from the U.S. We've got Scott Hurst from CTV News here to give us the latest. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Rosie.
Okay, so Scott, what's been the reaction from family and friends of the victims?
Families are, of course, grieving, and the community is in shock as dozens turned out at a vigil last night for the two men killed at the popular Toronto Summer Street Festival, as police have identified the two men killed as 25-year-old Shaquan Kwashi and 20-year-old Cesar Vernazza. They are Toronto's 19th and 20th homicides of the year. Police say they believe the two men were likely targeted. As mothers and other family members are grieving the loss of their two sons, people in the community along St. Clair are also traumatized, some questioning whether the festival should even return. Organizers themselves, Rosie, critical of the response by Toronto's mayor and police chief, saying unless more is done and stronger commitments are made to enhance policing and security, they say the event won't return, as the devastating incident and the very public display of violence is shining a spotlight on public safety at festivals and large events, Rosie, right across the country.
Scott, the Toronto police chief talked about illegal guns coming into Canada from the United States. What did he outline?
Well, the shooting is not only sparking questions about crowd control at summer festivals, regardless of where they are across the country, it's also renewing a national debate over illegal guns. The federal Conservatives are blaming the Liberals for the brazen gun violence, saying years of lax sentencing has led to these situations, arguing repeat offenders, especially those who commit gun violence, should continue to face tougher punishment. The Liberals are arguing they've made dozens of changes to tighten bail and sentencing for repeat offenders. Now, as you mentioned, Toronto's police chief also echoing the call for tougher new laws, saying when someone is targeted, someone is killed in such a public setting, whether it's by a stray bullet or being targeted, it should be classified, he feels, as first-degree murder. Meanwhile, there are more calls to have much more done about to stem the flow of guns coming into this country, coming across the border, to stop firearms from coming into Canada from the United States, as statistics from our southern neighbors show that nearly half of all guns seized in Canada, Rosie, are from the U.S.
It's good to have you back, Scott, covering such a troubling story. Thank you very much, Scott. CTV News, Scott Hurst.
Thanks, Rosie.
And it is time now for your morning fix.
And we are kicking it off with, you have never seen Tom Cruise quite like this before.
You knew, long before the rest of us. That is why it is your problem.
If we can't control the course of nature, at least we can control the narrative.
But it happened.
Mother Nature, she loved to win it.
You're gonna save the world.
Safe to say that not just me, but I'm sure everyone was dialed into seeing this trailer after you kind of got a hint.
Absolutely.
So the new trailer for the film Digger has been released. The film has been highly anticipated and marks the return of Academy Award-winning director Alejandro J. Inarritu. Digger also stars Oscar nominee Jesse Plemons and Sandra Hüller. It hits theaters on October 2nd, and Tom Cruise is almost unrecognizable in what I've seen so far. But everything that he's done, he always does it with such expertise and such passion. So I feel like this is going to be one that's talked about for years to come.
Absolutely. There he is. Like, you would hardly recognize him, as you mentioned. You used to seeing him jumping from planes and trains and Missions Impossible, and this is just a different role. But I look forward to it. It looks very good.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm okay with these kind of movies, just as long as it's not scary.
I was going to say, the only time you've seen him something like that was when he wears, like, the mask. If you've seen Mission Impossible, where he rips off the face and he's actually Tom Cruise.
Yes.
That's what he looks like, but for real, for the movie.
Yeah. Well, the UK, the annual Count the King's Swans, has begun on the River Thames. The 5-day event is known as Swan Upping, and it dates back to the 12th century. Each year, a team conducts a health check on the river's population of the majestic water flow. But once upon a time, the health of these birds wasn't the priority because they were considered a very important food source. Yes, they were served up at banquets and feasts. Of course, today, the swan is no longer eaten and is a protected species. So Swan Upping is now all about conservation and education. Look at that. They are majestic creatures.
They are. And an important comment you said at the end. We no longer consume the swan.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I saw a big swan sitting on a table at a buffet and be like, oh, I have to eat that.
Oh, even I think it was last year when I saw like a video, it was like even duck wings. And I know it's like popular, but I had never seen it at that point. And I went, oh, like that's a little strange. Just in my mind, you just think about the different birds.
Yeah, weird.
Maybe that's just me. All right, finally for you, in Washington State, competitors were chomping at the bit in an annual prehistoric sprint. This is right down our alley, I think. You don't need a horse in the race to get a kick out of this one. In the final, the leaders inflated suit led to a, we'll call that a bruised ego, I think, if you will, as an untimely tumble towards another Rex to devour the competition, taking the title of T-Rex World Champion.
That's incredible. And those suits are hard to run in. I see them a lot at Halloween. My niece actually wore one for Halloween, and
no way.
It was a pain in the butt, I'll say that, just because there's a lot of having to fix the costume every 5 minutes, and it's hard to walk in, hard to see. Good for them for sprinting on mud.
I was going to say, hard to walk in if they're sprinting, and if you can't really see where you're going in those areas, especially as you run. So undoubtedly a couple of tumbles in there.
That was great.
All right, we're going to take a peek outside. There's Sky Cam. Melissa letting us know it's going to be another hot and humid day, potentially record-setting. So right after the break, we are taking your comments on how do you beat the heat when we see temperatures like this. Full details with our viewers coming up right after the break. Welcome back, everybody. A few minutes to your 7 o'clock hour. It is quite obvious if you step outside. Another heat wave has arrived here in the capital, and we'll tell you what to expect with climatologist David Phillips coming up in just about 15 minutes or so today. So we are asking you, how do you beat the heat when you see temperatures like this, 35, feeling like 43 degrees today? And we had someone chime in this morning.
Richard says, drink a lot of water and no sugary drinks. I eat light meals and salad, use my air conditioning and a fan, and enjoy watching your show.
Aww.
Okay, that is so wonderful. Thank you for that, Richard. He's got a whole routine.
And I will say, too, so timely enough, which we'll start to see on social media, so I had a conversation last week with Dr. Trevor Arneson, Medical Officer of Health here in Ottawa, and he hit me with some knowledge, which, Richard, I'm going to have to tell you about, too. So I've been using a fan my whole life, both for noise and I like the cool air, but it doesn't necessarily actually cool you down. What? And he was telling you windows are a better option, obviously AC first, but I was like, don't do that to me, Dr. Arneson. I'm using a fan to stay cool my whole life. Apparently it might not work.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm confused now because I feel like it also keeps me cool.
I know.
No, I'm so confused.
I think it's half a placebo, but guess what? We're going to keep doing it.
We'll do it.
All right, we're going to keep that chat going. How do you stay cool during these heat waves? Let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. Centennial Glass Sky Cam showing the humidity through the lens. We'll be right back with your news headlines.
Boom.
It's Tuesday, July 14th. Ottawa police are investigating an overnight assault at the corner of Rideau and Dalhousie.
A yellow warning remains in effect with the hottest temperatures of this heat wave expected this afternoon.
And the province says it's sending more financial aid to residents impacted by Canada Day floods. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Just after 7 o'clock. Hope your morning is going well. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Tuesday, friends. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up shortly, I know it's been hot and humid over the last couple of days. In about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, Melissa's going to be speaking with climatologist David Phillips on ways that we can stay safe and potentially beating this heat.
Absolutely. We're going to learn more about the heat wave, how much longer it's going to last, and of course, why we're continuously seeing more and more heat waves. It seems like every summer we see more of these, so we're going to kind of learn why.
A lot of details coming up shortly.
We'll get to today's top stories for you right now. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market area. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area around 10 p.m. The person was assessed on scene and taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. Environment Canada says today could become the hottest day of the year in Ottawa, with humidex values expected to reach 43 degrees. There won't be much relief overnight, with temperatures expected to drop down to the low 20s. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. An update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. In international news, the U.S. has carried out a third night of strikes against Iran. The U.S. military says its latest strikes are aimed at preventing Iran from attacking commercial ships. This comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has hit 2 UAE tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. military bases in Jordan and Bahrain were also targeted. U.S. President Donald Trump is vowing to keep the strait open. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barrhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and better working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. Toronto police have identified 2 men shot dead at a crowded street festival over the weekend and say they were targeted. The mayor and police chief spoke at a news conference Monday afternoon.
And the violence at Salsa on St. Clair was reckless and disgusting. It happened at a crowded festival with families enjoying a beautiful summer night.
Shaquan Kwashi and Cesar Vernaza were killed in gunfire that erupted on Saturday evening at an event that 13,000 people were attending. 5 others were injured. The police chief says some of them were innocent bystanders. Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard has been found guilty of sexual assault and forcible confinement on charges related to incidents dating back to the late 1990s. The now 84-year-old Nygard accepted a plea deal and did not present any evidence in his defense. The assault took place at the 84-year-old's Montreal penthouse between November 1997 and November 1998. The Quebec case is separate from Nygard's conviction in Ontario, where he was sentenced to 11 years in prison on sexual assault charges. He's also facing similar charges in the United States. Nygard started his clothing company in Winnipeg in 1967. It would become one of the largest fashion companies in Canada. And in Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they'll buy you a drink. No costume required.
And Dallas is ready for its last dance at the FIFA World Cup.
France and Spain will meet in the semifinals at Dallas Stadium later today. It'll be the last event held on the natural grass pitch as well.
Crews have been meticulously watering it, and between games, it's sat under special UV lights using an advanced growth system. Soon, the Dallas Cowboys will return to the stadium, and the grass will be turfed for turf.
Yeah, they don't joke around when it comes to that Dallas stadium. One of the most recognizable stadiums in the history of football.
Yeah.
And it's really cool now because as big as football is in the football American sense, football in the other sense is going to, that's going to take over. And I can't even imagine what it's going to be like at that game.
Absolutely. It's going to be incredible. Exciting stuff. Well, we do have your weather picture of the day today, and Joyce sent this in to us. This is the beautiful sky over in Orleans last night.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather pictures, and you could be featured right here on the show. So make sure you keep sending them in to us. Weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. And our forecast today, we could break a record for being the warmest July. What are we, 14th or 15th today? 14th. 35 degrees is our expected high today, but that is the record set back in 2012 of 35 degrees. So if we hit 35.1, we'll break that record. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yes, we are in store for a hot and sticky day. The sun will set tonight at 8:48 p.m. We do have that heat warning in effect. You can see it's this pink on your screen. It extends through Ottawa, Hawkesbury, Cornwall, Smiths Falls, Brockville, and areas out in the valley. Temperatures in some areas could feel up to 45 degrees, so hot and sticky and humid into the afternoon. There's also a severe thunderstorm watch for areas in Montreal and out through Maniwaki, so that's the yellow portion on your screen. They could see damaging winds, large hail, as well as thunder and lightning as well, so keep that in mind. We could see two systems today. For us here in Ottawa, already sitting at 22 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, so this is a very, very warm start to your day. With the humidity, this hour feels closer to 28, and you can see temperatures already feeling in the 30s for Kingston and Trenton, sitting at 31 and 32. This is how temperatures feel already this morning. It feels like 29 out in the valley, so already warm and sticky to start off your morning. Still a little bit cloudy out there. We're seeing some cloud coverage, but we will get to see some sunshine shortly, and we will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day today. Late this evening into your overnight, there is a chance we could see showers. We could see a risk of thunderstorms as well. It mainly looks like in our overnight closer to midnight is when we could see some thunderstorm activity. Some areas will stay completely dry, just a 30% chance, and it will clear up before tomorrow morning. The sunshine is back as we head into Wednesday. So today is the last real hot and humid day. It won't be nearly as humid as we head into tomorrow, but still very hot conditions this week. 35 degrees is the high late this afternoon, and again, we'll have to wait and see if we break that record. We'll feel closer to 43 for us here in the city. Similar temperatures across the region. You could see mid-30s throughout most of the region. Cornwall sitting at 34. Same within Bancroft, Trenton, Kingston sitting at 35. 36 in Kemptville, 34 out in the valley for today, 35 as well over in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, the heat will stick around. It won't be as humid as we head into tomorrow. 20 is the overnight low for tonight. As we head into tomorrow, 29 is the high, so still hot conditions, not nearly as humid. We'll feel closer to 31 into the afternoon. Still lots of sunshine in through Wednesday. The sun will stick around Thursday and through Friday, and then temperatures back into the mid-20s as we head into the weekend.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
All right, let's take a look at your roads at this hour and a couple updates for you. Collision eastbound on the 417 at Innis in traffic is backed up to the 174 split. On your highways, slowdowns eastbound on the 417, that 416 split until about Woodruff, as well as between Carling and Bronson. Some buildup westbound on the 174 approaching Montreal Road. Riverside and Bank area continues to be a mess as well. Riverside is down to one lane in both directions approaching Bank Street. So if you can, avoid that area if at all possible, because we are going to continue to see slowdowns probably throughout the week ahead. Melissa.
A heat warning for the nation's capital is in effect for this week, as hot and humid weather is expected to last through most of the week. The yellow level warning calls for temperatures between 30 and 37 degrees, with humidex values up to 45. Let's bring in climatologist David Phillips for more on this today. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Okay, David, I much prefer when we're talking about a heat wave as opposed to a cold snap. So good to see you this morning. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing right now here in Ottawa and area.
Yeah, Melissa, this could be the warmest day of the entire summer. I mean, we saw on July 1st, it was all that rain, but it still got up to 32 degrees, and the next day was 33 degrees. So 35, you haven't seen that temperature. And that, as you've been reporting, that could very well be a record for July 14th. It is also humid. This could be the most humid day of the entire summer. So you've got kind of a couple of things going against you in terms of the temperature and also the humidity. And what we're seeing, we've had humidity, we're calling for a humidex value of 43. Others are saying maybe 44, 45. So 43 is the highest you've had so far this summer, and that was, I believe, at the first part of July. But unlike those other ones, this one is probably going to be above 40, which is the threshold we look at for being extremely uncomfortable and unhealthy. We could see 8 hours from noon to about 8 o'clock tonight. Could very well be humidex values in the Ottawa area of above 40. The other thing that's noteworthy about this day is that one thing you're blessed with in Ottawa are these lack of tropical nights, where the temperature at night falls, say, or stays above 20 degrees. We call that a tropical night. Now, this morning, I think the temperature at the airport was 20.1 at the lowest, and then it started rising. So I think this is clearly only the second day this summer that you've had what we'd call a tropical night, where, Toronto gets maybe 12 or 13 of those days. So it's something about the Ottawa climate that really saves you at night. I mean, it kind of naturally cools off, and so you don't have the urban heat island. You don't have the density that perhaps other cities do. So I think that's one of the highlights, the nice things that you could say about Ottawa. But hey, a tough day today. Again, 8 degrees warmer than normal, could be a record. And then, as you were reporting, we're going to cool off a little bit, but hardly. I mean, Melissa, what's the difference between 31, which we would establish a heat warning for in Ottawa, 2 days in a row above 31? So that may fall below that threshold for tomorrow, 29. What's the difference between 31 and 29? I mean, it's still going to say warm. What we would like is that kind of cool Canadian air where the highs are 23, 24, open the windows, turn off the air conditioning. Well, we don't see that this week. We see temperatures that are about normal is the best thing I could say about it, or maybe a couple degrees warmer than normal. So it looks like this heat is going to continue a bit, maybe less oppressive and sultry. And again, you reported correctly that the humidex values would drop. And we have seen so much rain in July that what you're seeing is not only Gulf of Mexico air, but you're adding to your own moisture from all of that rain that is now evaporated. The crops are growing feverishly, so it's homegrown humidity plus imported humidity, and that's why it's making it the air so thick you can almost cut it. And it's often the humidity that brings us down.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and breaking it all down why we're seeing this little heat wave in mid-July. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, not just heating up outside, it's heating up at the World Cup, and it is coming down to the wire because the two semifinal matchups are officially set. France and Spain meet again in the semifinals 2 years after Spain's 2-1 win over Les Bleus at the European Championship. That night, a 16-year-old Lamine Yamal scored as Spain went on to lift the trophy. Just a few days later, this time, France arrives as one of the World Cup standout teams powered by joint top scorer Kylian Mbappe and a star-studded attack. Spain, meanwhile, has battled injuries to Yamal and Nico Williams, relying on late goals from Mikel Merino to squeeze past Portugal and Belgium. With lots of history between these two sides, this one should be an absolute classic. And guess what? There's only a couple games left. Kickoff for this game is today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay nice and cool inside and watch a heated matchup between the two squads. And if you want to watch who France or Spain will play in the final, we have that game for you as well. England takes on Argentina tomorrow at 3 p.m. You can catch all the World Cup action on TSN, CTV, as well as Crave. And still to come on the show, celebrating 50 years of protecting our history. The CEO of the National Trust for Canada, Dr. Patricia Kell, joins us to talk about a major milestone and how it's being celebrated here in the nation's capital. Our guest is nice and cozy in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Can't wait for that conversation. Hello! We'll speak with you too. And you know what? All of our crew staying nice and cool inside on this hot and humid day. Outside Centennial Glass Skycam, you can feel it through the lens, can't you? Temperatures already beyond 20 degrees with little relief of that heat overnight. I think it's an inside day. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Patricia Kell is the CEO of the National Trust for Canada, the country's leading charity dedicated to protecting our historic sites. She joins us this morning to talk about a major milestone. We are not talking 10, 20, 30. We're talking 50 years since Canada signed the UNESCO World Heritage Convention. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
When you think about that number, 5 decades of just history here in the capital, what do you start to think about?
Well, in the context of the World Heritage Site, part of what I think about is the fact that the Rideau Canal's actually been here for 200 years. Wow. And so these efforts, these sort of conscious efforts to preserve it, have really only kicked in the last 50 years. And that there's a whole history and existence of the canal, use of the canal, importance of the canal that happened all before the World Heritage Convention was written.
So really, it's a 50-year anniversary, but we could go back and say it's even more than that. How are we going to be celebrating this year?
So we are celebrating by having a party. So at Ottawa Locks on the 23rd of July, which is the anniversary date of Canada signing the World Heritage Convention, we're having a party at Ottawa Locks between 2 and 5 in the afternoon, and we're inviting everybody to join us.
What role does the National Trust for Canada play in something like this? Because I feel like it's so interesting and it's maybe not talked about enough when it comes to the heritage side.
So the National Trust for Canada is the leading national charity that's concerned about the protection and preservation of heritage places. Our mission is to bring people together to protect and to promote heritage. And we believe that the heritage places really lie at the heart of strong communities. And so we're celebrating this anniversary because we believe it's important for people to know about Canada's World Heritage Sites and to take pride in them, because these are places that are of such outstanding value that they are on a par with the great places all around the world, like the pyramids and the Great Wall of China.
It's so amazing because I feel like it can be fascinating and you can gain so much knowledge on something that maybe you're not aware of. What do you love about your job when you're finding out about the history?
Oh, the thing I love about my job is that every site is its own story. So the Rideau Canal has its stories, but the other World Heritage Sites in Canada each have their own stories. And in fact, there are lots of heritage places that aren't designated, that aren't National Historic Sites, that aren't World Heritage Sites, and each of them has an exciting story too. So it's like a constant discovery.
You know, I feel like the Rideau Canal sometimes, because we live here, it's one of those situations where it can get overlooked with how beautiful it is, just because we see it every day. Maybe we come downtown. What do you think is so special about it, and why should we highlight it so much, not just here in Canada, but really, like you said, it stands up amongst the world?
Yeah. So in Ottawa, we tend to think only about the part of the canal that is downtown. But of course, the canal runs all the way from Ottawa to Kingston. And it was built 200 years ago to help protect Canada from an attack from the US. And so that military purpose is important. But then the control, the engineering control in building this canal through a wilderness, which Eastern Ontario was at the time, is just amazing. So you think of the amounts of water that need to come down, even through the set of 8 locks in Ottawa, and you need to get that water from somewhere, and that somewhere is 100 kilometers away. So that thought, that care, that understanding, the engineering marvel that is required to make that happen is really extraordinary.
You know, you can see it in your face when you're talking about it, how much it excites you. You know, when you have people coming to learn more about sites like the Rideau Canal and just heritage in general in our city, what do you want the takeaways to be? What's your goal when they come and start to learn?
Oh, I think that each place has its story, and our stories here in Ottawa are this amazing story about being founded because the canal was being built. And so before the canal, there wasn't a lot of Ottawa. So that's important. But then we have, and this is true in all communities in Canada, and then we have these layers of subsequent people coming and new activities, new economic opportunities. In Ottawa, the federal government are finally arriving, and then the high-tech boom. And each of these brings something different to the city and leaves its mark on the place. And as you walk through Ottawa or any other town, you can read that history as you walk through the streets. I find that amazing.
It is so cool, and I'm always amazed about the history of areas here in the capital when we find more about it. Really appreciate your time, Dr. Kell. It is so great, and hey, congratulations on celebrating 50 years and maybe 50 years to come. What do you think?
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, still to come on the show, Ottawa, the Bank of Canada is expected to make its next interest rate announcement tomorrow. Many people's eyes will be peeled towards that announcement. We learn more from the one, the only Frank Napolitano from our Mortgage Brokers Ottawa in our Mortgage Minute. He is sitting by. His back is to us. Don't worry. Frank is dialed in. He's looking at his phone. He's hitting refresh every second, making sure he's got the interest rate down pat. We'll chat with him shortly. We'll take a peek outside, shall we? Not a lot of sunshine, but man, do we feel the heat. Yellow warning in effect. 35 is our daytime high, feeling closer to maybe 45. Woo! She's going to be a toasty one. Stay with us, crew. We'll be right back.
National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Find your adventure. We stock it. The Bronco family.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
With a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets,
And markets bursting with flavor.
wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future,
Meets the past.
where people come together.
Always proud
Often loud. Whee!
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
7:30 on the nose. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
That means it's the official halfway point of the program. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Frank Napolitano is right around the corner. He wouldn't turn and wave to the camera in our Lazy Boy studios. I'm gonna have to have a chat with him about that. But he was dialed into his phone because we were expecting to get another rate, interest, and announcement. So you'll have that conversation coming up shortly.
And it's pretty gray out there, Melissa,
Yeah.
but really muggy, isn't it?
Very humid. The heat warning still in effect for today. So full forecast details, including if we could break a record later on today.
Have to wait and see. We're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market area. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area around 10 p.m. The person was assessed on scene and taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Today could be the hottest day of the year so far across much of Ontario.
This could be the most humid day of the entire summer. We could see 8 hours from noon to about 8 o'clock tonight. Could very well be humidex values in the Ottawa area of above 40.
Climatologist David Phillips joined us this morning. He says we won't see any reprieve tonight. Right now, there are yellow and orange level heat warnings across northern, eastern, and southern Ontario, with humidex values into the mid-40s in some spots later this afternoon. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. An update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by the flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. In international news, the U.S. has carried out a third night of strikes against Iran. The U.S. military says its latest strikes are aimed at preventing Iran from attacking commercial ships. This comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has hit 2 UAE tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. military bases in Jordan and Bahrain were also targeted. U.S. President Donald Trump is vowing to keep the strait open. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and better working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. Toronto police have identified 2 men shot dead at a crowded street festival over the weekend and say they were targeted. The mayor and police chief spoke at a news conference Monday afternoon.
And the violence at Salsa on St. Clair was reckless and disgusting. It happened at a crowded festival with families enjoying a beautiful summer night.
Shaquan Kwashi and Cesar Vanaza were killed in gunfire that erupted on Saturday evening at an event that 13,000 people were attending. 5 others were injured. The police chief says some of them were innocent bystanders. And in Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They're asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they will buy you a drink, no costume required.
And we are getting our first look at season 2 of The Gentleman.
If you're looking for prestige, heritage, that would be the Duke.
Theo James returns as the Duke and clearly has ambitions of expanding the empire.
The return of the Guy Ritchie series starts streaming in September, so you do have time to check out season 1 and the movie before then.
I haven't seen the show, but I saw the movie, and it was
yeah.
unreal. So there we go. Add it to the list of more things that we need to consume our time with.
I mean, a great cast in there as well, so looks intriguing.
Definitely. So I'll be watching that one potentially. Maybe I'll start season 1 this week because it is the time to stay indoors and try to stay some cool. So it's kind of guilt-free TV watching, if you will.
Stay in the air-conditioned temperatures where it's nice and cool as opposed to outside where you step out and you're like, whew.
Yeah.
Drenched.
It's hot. Exactly.
Sip on a cool drink.
Yes.
Feet up. You know, binge a whole season,
No
and then you can
fans.
say, hey, I was taking care of my body, had to stay cool and hydrated.
Absolutely. We do have a hot and steamy one this afternoon as the heat warning does continue. And believe it or not, today is going to be hotter than it has been all summer long. So this is officially going to be the hottest day we've seen so far. Mostly cloudy conditions this morning. We could see some thunderstorm activity overnight and into your late afternoon. But overall, the week is staying hot and sunny, even though it won't be as humid as we head into tomorrow. Temps already this morning sitting at 22 degrees. So very warm already outside this hour. 21 in the Valley, 23 in Kingston, 24 in Trenton. You can see temps all in the low 20s. However, with the humidity, it does feel closer to the high 20s. Feels already like 28 for us here in the city of Ottawa, 28 in Montreal, 27 for Cornwall, 30 for areas in Brockville, Trenton, Kingston. Temperatures already feeling like those low 30s. So in our skies, we did see some clouds this morning. It has cleared up a little bit. So we are seeing more sunshine out there this morning than we have seen over the last couple of hours. We will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day today, and then late into your afternoon, early evening, that's when we could see some thunderstorm activity. It's looking mainly around midnight is when we could see some active weather on the way. Some areas will stay completely dry, but yes, some areas could get a little bit of active weather, especially overnight tonight. It will clear up in time for tomorrow morning, so you don't have to worry about any rain on your way to work tomorrow. We will see more sunshine, but then we could see some spotty showers as we head into Thursday. Temps into your afternoon, 35 35 degrees is your daytime high for us here in Ottawa. It's 36 in Kemptville, 35 in Brockville, 35 as well in Kingston. Out in the valley sitting at 34, so temperatures really in those mid-30s throughout most of the region, 35 over in Gatineau. There is a heat warning in effect, and that's because temperatures today will feel closer to 43 with the humidity. So when we have consecutive temperatures from 31 into those high 30s, we will see these heat warnings issued. You can see it's for Ottawa, Hawkesbury, Cornwall, down along the 401 for Smiths Falls, Brockville, out in the valley as well. There's also a severe thunderstorm watch for areas in Montreal and out in Quebec, in Maniwaki. So that's the yellow. You could see, of course, strong thunderstorms, damaging winds, as well as large hail. So keep that in mind, even possible tornadoes. And even keep in mind for us, because sometimes these watches do extend. So we will keep an eye on that throughout the day ahead. 20 is the overnight low, so still seeing those tropical overnights for us tonight. Relief on the way tomorrow in terms of humidity. Still a very hot day. 29 is the high, mix of sun and cloud. We'll feel closer to 31, so won't nearly be as humid into the afternoon. 17 is the low. Then finally relief on the way really Thursday through Friday, Saturday overnights. Temperatures back down into those mid-teens, and in through the day on the weekend, temperatures in those mid-20s. Slowdowns right now eastbound on the 417. This starts at the 416 split in through Woodruff, as well as between Bronson this morning as you head downtown. So we are already seeing some delays. Other than that, the collision eastbound on the 417 at Innis has now been cleared. We're also seeing heavy slowdowns. Kitchie Zibi making Parkway is heavy from Booth Street as we are seeing lane reductions in effect. Westbound on the Queensway, congestion between Saint Laurent and Nicholas. We're also seeing build up westbound on the 174 approaching Montreal Road. Riverside and Bank area also continues to be a mess. Riverside is down to one lane in both directions approaching Bank Street, so just avoid that area if you can.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
The Bank of Canada is set to make its interest rate announcement tomorrow. They make 8 announcements a year. This would be number 6. And so we're here to find out what that announcement will mean for possibly those who are seeking mortgages. We've got Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa to talk about what this announcement could mean coming up tomorrow. Good morning to you, Frank.
Good morning.
Yeah, a lot of times people are waiting. Bated breath. They have a home, they have a mortgage that's up for renewal, or they have a variable. So they go, uh-oh, Bank of Canada, they're going to come out with the interest rate, and they're waiting. What can they expect for tomorrow?
I think for the 6th straight announcement, Bank of Canada is going to say we're good on the sidelines. Good to sit on the sidelines. Yeah. The statistics and the Bank of Canada, number one priority for them is inflation. They want to make sure inflation's in check. So we've had a couple of high readings. The last couple of months have been higher readings than normal, but they count it all to the fact that there's the conflict between Iran and the U.S. and the oil prices went up. We've seen the oil prices come back down. Unfortunately, we're seeing them go the other way again. But certainly the next inflation report, which is out later this week, or early next week, sorry, will probably show that inflation's at a level where Bank of Canada is comfortable with it. So if Bank of Canada is going to be comfortable with the inflation, as well as the employment report that came out last week and the GDP report, then they're okay to sit on the sidelines and say, let's just see what happens.
Frank, what is that number, that comfort number for the Bank of Canada, or range, I should say?
Well, we're in that, what they call the neutral rate period. So they're in that period. There's a half point one way or the other that they can move, like around either down. Right now they're 2 1/4. So either 1.75 to 2.75. They're okay with that. Okay. We saw in 2022 when inflation ran out of control that they went all the way up to 4.75. So, but prior to COVID, prime rate was 0.5% lower than it is today. So if things get back to normal, there's nothing wrong with maybe seeing another 1/4 or 0.5% drop in the coming months. But the likelihood is for the rest of 2026, if you're on a variable rate mortgage or if you've got a personal line of credit and they're all tied to prime rate, probably expect Bank of Canada to sit on the sidelines, I would say.
So you're not seeing any drastic change here. You pretty much feel like it's going to remain the same. We'll see tomorrow on that. They're making that announcement tomorrow. But nothing like we saw the couple of years ago where, wow, the rates just kept climbing. Should be pretty stable.
No, and for people that are nervous about getting into variable or adjustable rate mortgages, I always say, I mean, take that 18-month period out of the equation, because that was a one-off. Just like during COVID, when people were able to get 5-year mortgage rates at 1.5%, that was a one-off too. Expect Bank of Canada, out of their 8 announcements per year, usually 6 or 7 of them are sitting on the sidelines. So nothing to worry about.
Frank Napolitano, Mortgage Brokers Ottawa. It's always a pleasure to have you on and keep us up to speed here with the interest rate. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Let's take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's pretty cloudy out there and muggy. It's going to be a hot day. We are under a heat warning once again. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. It is 8:40. 7:44. I can't really see that far down there. It's 7:44. We're right back with so much more.
It is the ultimate platform for big ideas, and the search is officially on for the local voices who will shape TEDx Ottawa in 2026. And joining us, how you can maybe land a spot on that famous red circle, is Kunal from TEDx Ottawa team. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so much to talk about. First, let's talk about TEDx Ottawa and what it's kind of all about for people who may not be super familiar with it.
Right. So TEDx is a stage where you share ideas that help inspire people. It ignites this new mindset, a new shift in your thinking. It changes how you think about things that you normally do in your day-to-day life. Now, it is between 14 to 18 minutes.
Okay.
So it's deliberately a short form content. And you only have that much amount of time to convey your idea to the audience, to the listeners worldwide. And most TEDx talks, the successful ones that have stayed with me over the years, they have a common theme. They challenge the status quo. They take something we see or do in everyday life and then rotate that frame 30 degrees, and then we're seeing it in a completely new light at that point. It challenges how you typically think about the trade-offs in your life, and it has puncturing detail. So with TEDx Ottawa, our approach has always been ideas before speakers. So we want to highlight the ideas in our community and bring them onto the global stage.
And what's the theme for this year?
I'm so obsessed with the theme. Our theme is called Continuum. And the reason I'm so excited about it is everyone thinks about Continuum differently. There's another team member on TEDx Ottawa. Her name is Ella Wiggins. She's also the co-founder. Her idea of Continuum, or how she conceptualizes Continuum, is what has been in the past, what we're going to do right now in the present, and how we're going to build the future. So it's that continuum of chronology of time. For me, Continuum is a little different. We live in a very binary and polarized world. So what ends up happening is you're asked to pick a lane. Is it black or is it white? I think there's like infinite shades of gray in between. And that's what Continuum is about for me. So it's intentionally kept to be a theme that could mean different things to different people.
I love that. So with the 12 speakers that you're looking for, what are you looking for from these speakers for those people who are thinking about applying?
A very good question. I think it's not about the speakers at all. It's about the idea. We assess the idea and we first look at, is it new? Is it original? Is it unique? Has it been done in the past? If it has, are you bringing something new to the idea? Is it factual? We want to make sure that the idea is rooted in credibility and your expertise. Now, that could be through research or your work experience or lived experience, right? And then an interest, a very important component is it compelling for the audience? If we listen to the talk, or if someone who is completely living remotely up north, they watch the talk, are they going to care about it? Are they going to be able to situate themselves in that talk? Would they be able to see themselves as an actor in that talk? And for me personally, I'm very biased towards action. So I'd love to see a clear call to action in the talk? Is it tangible or is it too ambitious? Am I able to do it in a given period of time? Am I able to have a different mindset, a different mental model? So all of it really helps with assessing the idea, and the speaker then is just the conduit, the carrier.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, applications people can apply right now. What's the cutoff date for people wanting to apply?
The cutoff date is July 19th.
So pretty soon.
This Sunday. It is pretty soon. Please apply. You can find more details at tedxottawa.net. And be involved with us. You can volunteer, you can sponsor, you can attend the day. There's a lot of different ways you can be a part of the event.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it. Again, you can head online for more information and get those applications in. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. Another hot and humid day as the heat warning does continue. Temperatures feeling closer to 43 into your afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:53. Here are your milestones for Tuesday, July 14th. And we're going to start off with the happiest 9th birthday. This is to Violet. Love from Mom, Dad, Luke, Lainey, Spicy, and all of your family and friends. And we have a very special birthday. This is a happy first birthday to Hunter. This is part of our Your Morning Ottawa crew. This is lots of love from your mommy, your daddy, who works with us, Big Brother Jet, your Nana, your Papa, Gam Gam, Grampy, Cola, and Millie. And a very happy birthday, Hunter, to you from all of us here at Your Morning Ottawa. We can't wait to see you and hope you come and visit us this summer. And of course, if you have a milestone celebrated with us, send your birthday announcements for kids 13 years old and younger, and for those turning 100 years or more. Wedding anniversaries as well for those celebrating 50 years or more. Just send us an email, ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we'll be sure to get your announcement on the air.
It's Tuesday, July 14th. Ottawa police are investigating an overnight assault at the corner of Rideau and Dalhousie.
A yellow warning remains in effect with the hottest temperatures of this heat wave expected this afternoon.
And the province says it's sending more financial aid to residents impacted by Canada Day floods. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning to you. Just after 8 o'clock, come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Tuesday. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
This could potentially be the hottest day that we're going to see throughout the year. We're going to get close.
Absolutely. Could see a record-breaking day. We'll have the full details in a few minutes.
Beautiful.
We're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to the hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area around 10 p.m. The person was assessed on scene and taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Today could be the hottest day of the year so far across much of Ontario.
This could be the most humid day of the entire summer. We could see 8 hours from noon to about 8 o'clock tonight. Could very well be humidex values in the Ottawa area of above 40.
Climatologist David Phillips joined us this morning. He says we won't see any reprieve tonight. Right now, there are yellow and orange level heat warnings across northern, eastern, and southern Ontario, with humidex values into the mid-40s in some spots later this afternoon. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. An update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by the flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. In international news, the U.S. has carried out a third night of strikes against Iran. The U.S. military says its latest strikes are aimed at preventing Iran from attacking commercial ships. This comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has hit 2 UAE tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. military bases in Jordan and Bahrain were also targeted. U.S. President Donald Trump is vowing to keep the strait open. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barrhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and better working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. In Toronto, a vigil was held last night for the victims of the Salsa on St. Clair mass shooting.
We need to come together and stand and to echo our voices that enough is enough.
The vigil was held near the festival site where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured. Police have now named the 2 victims. They are 20-year-old Cesar Vernaza and 25-year-old Shaquan Kwashi. In Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for some help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or a raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they will buy you a drink. No costume required.
And after a great run, Brooke Henderson falls short of winning another major championship.
Oh, but it was close. Smiths Falls' own Henderson earned $835,000 over the weekend for her second-place finish at the Evian Open Tournament in France. Henderson lost by 1 stroke in a playoff.
She will try again at the AIG Women's Major Open in England 2 weeks from now. Rest up the arm and get back at it.
Yeah, she got a hole-in-one. 2 in that tournament, which was super fun to watch, but so close, still a victory. But you know at that level, too, second is nothing for them. Brooke wants one. She wants the win.
They want to win. Well, at least she has another chance, and it's funny. Every time I drive through Smiths Falls, I'm like, oh, Brooke Henderson's hometown.
Yeah.
Right?
Our family cottage is up that ways, and always on one of the holes you can see Brooke's family cottage there.
Nice.
It's always know. So it's hey Brooke, she doesn't know who you are. But everyone just goes, oh yeah, hi Brooke, just pretend that they know her because it's so cool that she's local.
She needs a big billboard when Smiths Falls own Brooke Henderson, like when you drive into Smiths Falls.
Or like a nice
there should be
statue of some sort or something.
It's probably coming, right?
I hope so. I'm sure it is. A hot day to be outside. My goodness, if you are playing golf today, hope you're staying staying hydrated. You will need it because it will be hot and sticky this afternoon. 35 degrees today, and yes, we could break a record. If we reach 35.1, we will break a record. The last one was set at 35 degrees, even back in 2012. Now, we do have that heat warning still in effect for us here in Ottawa. It's all this pink you're seeing on your screen, so it extends from Hawkesbury down through Cornwall, Brockville, Ottawa, Smiths Falls, and areas along the 401 as well. Areas around Maniwaki and Montreal, there's a severe thunderstorm watch. You could see some severe thunderstorms, including strong wind gusts, hail, and of course, even possibility of tornadoes. So keep that in mind if you're heading anywhere today. Temps right now sitting at 23 degrees. Same with the Montreal, Cornwall, Brockville. There is humidity out there. Already feels like 30 degrees to start off your day here in Ottawa. So a very, very warm start to your morning. And you can see warm temperatures across the region ranging from the high 20s to the low 30s is how it feels this hour. Still a little cloudy out there, so we're kind of seeing some breaks of some sunshine. But right now, quite cloudy out there to start off your day. We will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the afternoon today. Stronger winds as well, gusting late this afternoon out of the west, around 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. So a bit of a windier afternoon for us. As we head into tonight, late this evening, early overnight, we could start to see some thunderstorm activity. So active weather possible again today. Just a 30% chance it will clear up tomorrow. And then as we head into Thursday, we could see some more spotty showers on the way. Temps reaching a high of 35 degrees today. You could see it looks like our map is almost sweating because it's going to be so hot outside. We'll feel closer to 43 into the afternoon, 34 for Trenton, 35 in Kingston. The Valley also sitting at 34 today. 35 is your high in Gatineau. And yes, the heat will stick around, but it won't be as humid into tomorrow. Tonight, still seeing these tropical overnight lows dropping to 20 into your day tomorrow. 29 is the high. We'll feel closer to 31. So a break from the humidity, but still quite hot. It will stay hot for Thursday, and then a break overnight Thursday and through the weekend. Temperatures overnight will be back down into those mid-teens, so you'll have some relief and be able to open up the windows and let in some fresh air. In through the weekend forecast, temperatures really sitting in the mid to high 20s. On your roads this morning, so we have a handful of collisions out there and trouble spots out there on your roads as well. Slowdowns eastbound on the 417 at the 416 split. This is in through Bronson. The Kitchie-Zibi-Meakin Parkway also heavy approaching Booth Street. Lane reductions are in effect. Westbound on the Queensway, congestion between the 174 split and Nicholas. Build up on the westbound 174 approaching Montreal Road. Champlain Bridge, we're experiencing some volume. All of your other bridges are moving well this hour, and Riverside and Bank continues to be a mess. Riverside is down to one lane in both directions approaching Bank Street, so just avoid that area if you can. Will.
All right, coming up shortly, we're going to be talking about how maybe you can get in on some of this. Oh, action. Oh, coming up a little bit later on a summer camp coming up. It is balls galore up here. How many can we get? How many can we get? It is unbelievable. Stay with us. We'll be right back. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, everybody. If you want to get in on some of this action, we got Anna and Gregory joining us on ways for the kids to stay active during those outdoor months. And here we go. Oh! Bam, did you get that? There it is. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning, Will. Thank you so much for having us today.
You know, on a Tuesday morning, having a little bit of fun in our what we call the street is never a bad thing. Tell me a little bit about this summer camp, because it is really unique.
Yeah, so we have a brand new summer camp for kids. It's called Nipian Plication Camp, and it's really fun. It's a play-based camp, so we're trying to get the kids to play, to different kind of play. Anna can tell us a little bit about play for kids, how important it is.
Yeah.
Play is really central to a child's development. I mean, children learn through play. They develop creativity, cognition increases, confidence increases, body awareness. So it's really integral to a child's development.
You get so many skills from playing and sport that attribute to so many other aspects of your life. Is that what you're really trying to achieve here when you think about the camp as a whole?
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to try to get the kids to play different kind of play. That's why our camp is very special and different than others, because we have different specialists coming in. So most of the camp, it's like a special tennis camp or specialized soccer camp. We have actually professional specialists, boxing class, dancing, tennis. I have 20 years of experience in tennis. We have martial arts, and so, yeah.
I mean, look at them all. I mean, that picture says it all, doesn't it? The kids having a good time. Boxing gloves are up. You know, when you think about something like this, what inspired you to start this camp? Because it's unique. You have professionals coming in for all these individual sports. It's not just specific to one. What was kind of the passion behind the project?
Well, all the skills, they rise together. We want to get the kids to get like different skills. So you know, when you specialize the kids also too early on the sport, like I really believe that you need to develop other skills. So, and also it's fun. We want the kids to be introduced to different sports and try it out, and you know, like it or not. And so this one is really good. It's fantastic. The staff is incredible. I mean, we have Anna, and we have Amber, which is a martial art and boxing, and we have 2 counselors, which are incredible and just love playing with kids. They were actually in Italy right now teaching kids, and they just came back, so it's just wonderful.
I mean, how cool is that? And it's memories like that that really stick with you. You know, when you think about a kid, you're like, why does this 1 or 2 memories that I can somewhat remember stick out? Yeah. What are the ages of some of the camps? Because we saw that photo there, but at this point too, it's like, what are you kind of looking at age-wise?
So the age is going to be 4 to 11 years old.
Okay.
Age group, and yeah.
I love that. When you take a look at the kids learning the new sports and, you know, you see them interacting with each other and accomplishing goals, how great of a feeling is that for you?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, I'm working with the kids on dance and yoga. And I think the most cool thing about watching the kids was dance. Watching these kids who were like, oh, you know, I don't know if I want to dance. Even the counselor got up and danced.
I thought you would never dance. And myself, I just one day, and I can't wait to be tomorrow. She does it like a big segment on Wednesday on dancing. Okay. And I just can't wait to be tomorrow. I'm like, this is great. You just let it, you know, let it loose. Just be free.
There's something about that, right? Be unapologetically, authentically yourself.
That's it.
But creating that safe space is super important. Okay, before we get to a little match here, you're going to warm us up a bit. And like, I have to be careful because I have ripped my pants on TV. So I'm going to take this through very slowly. But show us through what we get to warm up.
So,
go through a little warm up.
Let's just do a somewhat tennis dance specific warm up. So I'm going to invite you to just begin. We want to kind of like just get out of here and into here. Right? So let's just kind of stomp our feet, shake our ankles, shake your feet out, shake your knees, move up the body, shake your hips, shake your back, shake your head, do a little bit. And then, you know, the final portion of the warm-up that's the most important is this is for my daughter Georgia. It's called the death drop, Georgia. So I hope you're watching. You put one hand up, and then you just need to kind of, and then you bounce a little, and then you duck walk, and then you pop back up. Welcome to Nepean Placation.
I would like a disclaimer that I'm not doing the death drop due to the last time I did the death drop, we had a rip from the top of the bum. So I am strategically going to do that. We've got the items up there if you get involved. What do you say, tennis pro? You know what?
Make sure you have an athletic stance. The feet are wide. We're doing a little forehand, okay?
Okay.
Come over here. Let's go.
Here we go.
Yeah, you. Up. Two-handed backhand. Up. Yeah. Oh. Forehand. You can put your that's it. Forehand, one hand.
Who's going to surrender the first point?
Very good. Here. Backhand, 2 hands.
All right, we're going to try something here. We're going to try to try the speed.
This is good. I think you need to come to Nepean Placation camp.
And I've been defeated
you know
by
what?
the pro.
I think you do need to come to Nepean Placation. Please give your kid a placation.
You know what it was? It's because I didn't do the death drop.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I told you.
Anna Gregory, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you so much.
No, I got that was a cheap point. But I still think I get it, Melissa? What do you think? I don't know.
I think so. I think you're winning the fact that your pants didn't rip. I think that is the winning factor in this. And of course, now that we're spending more time outside, there is so much more that you can do to keep your space looking clean and fresh. Lifestyle expert Charlotte Sigmund is going to show us how. Oh, I can't wait for those details. And here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. It's going to be a hot one. The heat warning still in effect. We'll feel closer to 43 today. We could break a record for being the hottest July 14th. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:20. Whether it's a DIY project, keeping the patio clean, or keeping the kids busy, lifestyle expert Charlotte Sigmund has it all for us today. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's so great to have you
here.
here. Oh, I love getting a hug from you. Okay, let's talk about keeping the patio clean because we want to make sure we get so much information here.
Of course. So we're outside more. It means we've got to clean one more space.
It's true.
So this is my go-to. This is Mean Green. This is their refillable ultra-powered concentrate. And I have to show you why this is so cool. So you can see here, there's a dual chamber design.
Right.
So you've got the multi-purpose cleaner. This is the glass cleaner. On one side, you have the concentrate, and the other side is refilled with tap water.
Oh.
So you don't have to measure anything. There's no special solution. You just unscrew this side, bring it right over to the sink, and refill it. And so one of these refillable bottles makes about 4 times as much of a regular non-refillable bottle.
That's incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Great value for your money.
Okay.
And then I have one of those glass coffee tables on my rooftop. It gets very dusty after it rains. So the glass cleaner is perfect for that. No streaks, and you were mentioning earlier, it smells amazing because of the plant and mineral-based ingredients. So
Okay, we see you cleaning away nice and
look
easy.
At me go.
Look at you go. I love it. Makes it easy, making it simple. We love that, especially during the busy summer months. Let's talk about refreshing our spaces.
Yes. Okay, so now we've cleaned our space. We want to refresh it. At this point in the summer, I feel like we've bought everything already.
Yeah.
So maybe we're thrifting a piece or we're going to refresh something we already own.
I love it.
So from Rust-Oleum, this is their low odor spray paint. So it is water-based. That's why it's low odor. It's quick drying. It's super easy to use. I think you're familiar with this product, right?
Yes, I am.
So fun, lots of different finishes. Okay, so this is a bench that my friend and I thrifted. Look at the finished product. Isn't that gorgeous?
I love the color too.
Thank you. There's over 12 colors. These are some of my favorites here, and that green I thought was really, really trendy and very pretty for summer.
And they even have matte, which is cool.
Matte, lots of different finishes, and a fun project to do with a friend.
Yeah, okay, 1 minute left. We're gonna keep the kids entertained.
Okay, so I know you can relate to this. So
Yes.
we want to keep our kids entertained and engaged. So from Yoto, this is the Yoto Mini. It is a screen-free audio player, does not need Wi-Fi to play, and has up to 14 hours of battery life. So this is your go-to travel companion.
Amazing.
I got to show you how this works.
Okay.
So Yoto makes these cards. You can get over 1,400 songs, audiobooks, games, entertainment, and here we turn this up.
And that's why coffee's
So this is in Canto. Isn't that fun?
This is so fun.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Great for little hands. So you can see it's lightweight, it's easy to hold. You can buy these sleeves to
Headphones
protect them.
too.
Yep, we've got a travel kit so you can purchase wireless headphones, and the little mini fits in the travel kit really nicely, as well as the cards. So your kids are in the back seat, they've got one of these each, and you're up front and you're just relaxing.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going to put this in and I'm going to see if Will recognizes the song because he played this for my kids.
Oh my gosh.
At his cottage. Okay, so I pop it in.
Yep.
Will, can you hear it?
He's going to come out dancing.
I think you can hear it. Will, do you hear our K-pop Demon Hunters, buddy?
This one's for you.
I want to see you bust a move to this out on the patio.
So many fun cards for the kids.
So cute.
And you don't need to bring bags of books and toys. You can just have all of that entertainment on the Yoto
Amazing.
cards.
All right, well, we're going to send it over to Will and maybe he'll hear our music now blasting. We want to see you bust a move, buddy.
Oh, I can hear the tunes, and you know what they go so well with? We don't have 1, not 2, not 3. We have 4, 5 different sauces, but we're not just trying those bad boys. We're going to be putting them on, some delicious ribs. It is a tough Tuesday here in our Capital Barbecue patio. All these delicious details coming up shortly. We'll be right back.
Good morning to you just after 8:30. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up shortly, I will be upstairs on our Capitol barbecue patio trying 5 different flavors of cabbage, hot sauce, barbecue sauce on ribs on this Tuesday.
Delicious.
And let me tell you, it was a little toasty up there, so this is not going to be an item that I'm going to have on.
You're going to have to take it off.
It's really hot out there, isn't it? Already
heat
it's
warning.
pretty sticky.
Yeah, so this will be off, and the jacket's coming off because it's a hot one.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I got caught on my...
Oh, my God.
Here, we'll help you.
We'll figure this out. Why don't you take it from here?
We'll get to today's top stories. Ottawa paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition last night after an incident in the Byward Market. This was the scene early this morning at Dalhousie and George Streets. Paramedics say they were called to the area around 10 p.m. The person was assessed on scene and taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. We will bring you the latest as details become available. Today could be the hottest day of the year so far across much of Ontario.
This could be the most humid day of the entire summer. We could see 8 hours from noon to about 8 o'clock tonight. Could very well be humidex values in the Ottawa area of above 40.
Climatologist David Phillips joined us this morning. He says we won't see any reprieve tonight. Right now, there are yellow and orange level heat warnings across northern, eastern, and southern Ontario, with humidex values into the mid-40s expected this afternoon in some spots. These conditions are expected to last until tomorrow or Thursday. An update from the province when it comes to support for those impacted by the Canada Day storm in the capital. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs, Rob Flack, says the province will be sending more financial aid to residents affected by the flooding on Canada Day by activating the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program. He says that will be available for people in eligible areas that have experienced significant overland flooding. In international news, the U.S. has carried out a third night of strikes against Iran. The U.S. military says its latest strikes are aimed at preventing Iran from attacking commercial ships. This comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has hit 2 UAE tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. military bases in Jordan and Bahrain were also targeted. U.S. President Donald Trump is vowing to keep the strait open. A man in his 40s has been charged in a crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman in the Barhaven area earlier this year. This happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a collision involving one vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old woman died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province yesterday, calling for better wages and better working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. In Toronto, a vigil was held last night for the victims of the Salsa on St. Clair mass shooting.
We need to come together and stand and to echo our voices that enough is enough.
The vigil was held near the festival site where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured. Police have now named the 2 victims. They are 20-year-old Cesar Vernaza and 25-year-old Shaquan Kwashi. And in Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
Okay. The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they will buy you a drink. No costume required.
A Petawawa resident rang in her wedding anniversary last month with a lucky lottery win.
Okay, so this is Kathy D, who matched the last 6 of 7 encore numbers in the June 10th Lotto 649 draw. That was all she needed to land the $100,000 prize that came in on her 37th wedding anniversary. The mother of 5 and grandmother of 14 described her win as amazing and overwhelming.
Incredible. And the winning ticket was purchased at Becker's on Petawawa Boulevard. Incredible win, and I'm just still amazed by the 14 grandchildren. Like, that's a whole big clan of the grandchildren.
She's going to be able to put that money to some good use, right? Spoiling the grandbabies a little bit.
Oh, probably a lot. Yeah, that's so sweet. I just love that story so much. Our forecast today, you're going to need to hopefully buy something to cool off, maybe a refreshing drink or something to stay cool. Not sugary drinks, though, as we heard earlier today. You got to stay hydrated with some water. It will be a mostly cloudy start to your day, and then we could see some thunderstorm activity later on this afternoon. Hot and sticky, though, throughout the day ahead. Temperatures this morning already sitting at 23 degrees for us here in Ottawa. It's 23 in Montreal, Cornwall, Brockville. Those low 20s throughout most of the region. The valley sitting at 26 right now. These are temps with the humidity. As you can see, already feels like 35 degrees out in the valley, 32 for Trenton, Kingston. Feels like 30 for us here in Ottawa. So already a hot, very, very sticky start to your morning. We're seeing clear skies out there this morning. We will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day ahead today. You could see areas of Quebec seeing some really intense thunderstorms today. There are some watches and warnings in place. We'll get to that in a few minutes. As we head into your afternoon, mix of sun and cloud, we could see some thunderstorms late this afternoon, early evening for us, and in through your overnight. It will clear up in time for tomorrow morning, but then spotty showers possible as we head into Thursday. So temps today reaching a high of 35 degrees. Could break a record for being the warmest July 14th. The last record set back in 2012 was 35 degrees. So if we hit 35.1 today, we will break that record. 34 in Cornwall, 36 in Kemptville, 34 as well out in the valley. As we head into Petawawa, 34, Gatineau, 35 into your afternoon. So here's where we do have some warnings and watches in place. Heat warning in effect for us in Ottawa, Hawkesbury, Cornwall, Smiths Falls, Brockville. It's the pink we see on our screen out in the valley as well. Temps today feeling like 43 for us here in Ottawa, but some areas could feel upwards of 45 with that heat and humidity. As we head into areas of Quebec and, of course, up in Maniwaki, Montreal, thunderstorm watch in effect, severe thunderstorm watch in effect. You could see very intense winds. We could see some hail. We could see possible tornadoes as well. So just keep that in mind if you are heading anywhere for today. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. You can see it'll stay hot throughout the week ahead. 20 is the overnight low tonight, so we'll still see tropical overnight. 29 for Wednesday, Thursday, just not as humid over the next few days. So we'll feel like 31, so a break from the humidity, but still quite hot as we head into Friday and through the weekend. Back into these mid-20 temperatures, and we will see some relief into your overnights. Slowdowns right now on the eastbound 417 Bayshore in through Bronson, so we are dealing with heavy volumes still. Kitchie, Zippy, Meekin Parkway, also slow approaching Booth Street. We are seeing some lane reductions in effect. Westbound on the Queensway, also seeing congestion between the 174 split and Nicholas. Light buildup westbound on the 174 Montreal Road. Champlain Bridge experiencing some volume as well. All your other bridges are moving well, and Riverside of Bank continues to be a mess. Riverside is down to 1 lane in both directions approaching Bank Street, so just avoid that area if you can. Well,
welcome to our Capital Barbecue patio, and not only a great patio here, but a stunning patio at the Village House. We got Sarah Swan joining us this morning to talk about the great, I'm going to call it wonderful vibes atmosphere that you have, as well as some delicious food. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Will.
I think it's so wonderful, too, because I know today is like a little bit toasty, but it's still nice to be outside. Tell me a little bit about the Village House, the patio, and just everything you guys do there.
So we're in Wakefield, Quebec, a small little village about half an hour outside of Ottawa. We have a beautiful patio which faces the Gatineau River, a beautiful boardwalk. We do like upscale comfort food. We've been there for 14 years. Me and my husband started it. We have an amazing team, super good family-oriented business.
It's so amazing. What kind of inspired you to open up something like this? I mean, when you think about the location of where it is, so beautiful, scenic everywhere. What was the passion behind the project?
Well, I'm a born and raised Wakefield girl, so and both of us, me and Mike, worked in restaurants in Ottawa for probably about 15 years. And we kind of decided it was our time to do our own thing. So a space came up in Wakefield, and we jumped at the opportunity because it's very small, so there's not a lot of locations. So we said it's now or never, and 14 years later, here we are.
Ooh, I love it, and I specifically love it because I am designated meat man here on the show. And I want to go through, because we do have some of the sauces on some of the food items, but I want to go through some of the different items that you have here.
Yeah.
We'll start over here.
So these are our house hot sauce. These are actually created by our chef now, Liam Carey. We do a monthly oyster night with oysters from Whalesbone in Ottawa. So we bring up a guest shucker, and we do that the last Sunday of every month. So these are some of the hot sauces that we use on those oysters.
I like that pineapple habanero. That sounds a little bit
favorite
spicy.
for sure. Yeah.
All right, what do you got over here?
This is our candied cabbage. We use this for a lot of our duck dishes, which you're going to try one of them today. So it's great. We actually have a frozen meal we do. So a duck leg confit with cassoulet, and I kind of call this like the icing of the cake for the duck.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then finally, we got a couple of different barbecue sauces.
Actually, so this one's our smoked tomato jam, which is the OG of our sauces. We use that on our tortilla, so we brought you a little taste of that today. We've had that for 14 years. This was the very first sauce that went on our menu. People loved it so much, we decided to jar it. And then we have our house barbecue sauce, which we do a chicken and rib night once a month. So that's our house barbecue sauce. A little more interesting taste. It's got a little secret ingredient we use called cilantro, which really adds a really full kind of flavor to the barbecue sauce.
Okay, so I'm going to get my napkin set up here, as we do in the TV world. Now, I have to ask you, the first one that I'm going to try, should I go for the OG to start or end with that one? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe start with that one. Maybe we'll go tomato sauce, and we'll end with the messiest of the barbecue sauce.
Okay, so we're going to start OG right here?
Yeah.
So remind me what this OG sauce is on.
So it's a smoked tomato jam, and it's on our beef and pork tortilla. We use a beautiful buttery, flaky pastry. We started this one. We used to do a Christmas market in Wakefield. About maybe 11 years ago it started, but we had so much demand that now we just keep it stocked in our freezer permanently.
The demand has now raised to one more person.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
Good.
No wonder that's good. Okay, what do we got here?
So this is a little duck rillette with foie gras and a candied cabbage on toasted brioche.
Okay, so this is a little bit more bougie, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of one of the canapé styles that we do for our catering event. So we do a lot of catering as well. So this is kind of one of the popular bites that we use.
Fresh.
Yes.
Fresh too in a hot day, which is very interesting given what it is, but I actually feel...
It's got a lot of like acidity kind of to the candied cabbage, so it kind of breaks down those fatty richnesses of the foie gras.
Okay, final and last one. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this is the house barbecue sauce. It's our chicken and rib night tomorrow. So we do slow roast pork ribs done with our house barbecue sauce, country fried chicken wings from Saval des Monts. We do our homemade Caesar salad, and we do a mac and cheese, which is amazing. It's a full barbecue plate for $36. We also have the hot sauce, which I love to like dabble on the mac and cheese as well too.
Oh, this is so good. So I was telling you before, there's a TV trick, and I call it, Melissa, I talked to her about it the other week, it's called like the butt out, okay?
Okay.
So it's just to avoid the white shirt.
It's a good strategy.
What do you
I
think?
like
Does it look good?
I like it.
Okay.
Because you're living dangerously with this white shirt, for sure.
As I dive into this, remind me of where you're located.
We're located in Wakefield, Quebec, so about 30 minutes outside of Ottawa, right on the Gatineau River.
Oh my.
Tasty, yeah?
It just fell right off the rib.
Yeah.
This is so amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, you definitely have at least one more customer. Congratulations on such success at this point.
Thank you so much, Bo.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I know I got to be talking about the Centennial Glass Skycam, but I'm all fogged up on the inside with how delicious this is. I'm going to finish the rest of this rib. You might see me, you might not. I'm going to get sauce all over myself. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. From celebrity guests and incredible Q&As to the legendary cosplay contest, Fanaticon is back this Saturday, and show coordinator Lance Morin joins us this morning to tell us about the fandom and fun hitting Overbrook this weekend. Good morning.
Thank you so much for that nice welcome.
Good morning.
So you just got your nails did?
I did.
Yeah,
I just
very
got
nice.
them done.
So cool.
Fanaticon.
Fanaticon, yes.
Tell me about this incredible event here.
This is a one-day event. It happens
pretty cool.
annually, only once a year. That's it.
Okay.
So it's Saturday, July 18th, 11 to 4. You can come to the show. It's going to be great. We have over 140 dealer spaces. We have celebrity guests. We've got panels, Q&As, costume contest. We've got the power hour at 3 o'clock. It's going to be amazing. It's gonna, yeah, you definitely don't want to miss this one.
How has it grown over the years? Because you said it's what, Fanaticon number?
It's going into the 7th year now.
7?
Yeah. So it's been great. You know, it started off as just like a little section in the conference center. Now it's at the Ottawa Conference and Event Center, and it's 2 halls. We have a 230-seat theater for the panels and Q&As. It's so great. Yeah.
People come there. You can be in full costume.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You can come and just browse. I mean, who's coming to Fanaticon?
Yeah, everybody that's a fan of anything.
Anything pop culture,
manga,
vintage,
wrestling, collectible toys, comic books, cinema.
Yes.
We've got lots of great celebrity guests like David Fielding, who played Zordon in Power Rangers. We've got Andres Jones, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street 4. We've got Hadley Kay, who was the voice of Scooby-Doo and Johnny Bravo, and he's actually the voice of the Cheerios Honeybee, which is pretty neat. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's really neat. We've got Emma Lee Cullum, who played Pennywise's daughter. Perry Winkle, she's going to be here at the show.
Okay, tell me about the cosplay, what is that, the contest?
Yeah, it's a contest. It happens at 2 o'clock.
I can only
come before
imagine.
1:30. You can sign up.
But you got to come ready, right? You can't just be like half in, half out. You got to go all in on this contest.
Go all in, yeah. It's going to be we've got some amazing judges. Each one of them have won the championship at some point throughout the years. It's really such a great show.
People get to be themselves. They get to go in there and they get to just fan out over things. Like, you've got some special guests coming in. You've got the Q&A sessions. There's several different ones. So that means folks can come in and actually ask questions, right, to some of the celebs that go in there?
Yeah, go to their tables. You can purchase autographs, do photo ops, things like that. We've got Nut Lee, who played Judo Master and Peacemaker. He's going to be there. And we also have Alex Rochon, too. He's going to be at the show. He was the voice of Kane from Amazing Digital Circus.
Oh, I see him right over there on the right.
And we have also Johnny Matrigano, who was the voice of Gabriel in Ultra Kill. There's so many guests,
What about the VIP tickets? You've got some of those?
Yeah, so VIP's
still?
pretty much sold out. There's probably a couple left. But yeah, come for 11 o'clock, stay till 4. Don't miss anything. The power hour is going to be great. That happens at 3 o'clock. We have Lee DeMarb, he's a local director. He's done Smash Cut and Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, and he's going to be doing a Q&A at 3 o'clock.
Is that the power hour?
That's
Tell me
the power
about the
hour.
power
3
hour.
o'clock,
What's it about?
he's going to be doing that panel. We have Ryan's Tornado. He's doing a total blowout. He doesn't want to take anything home, so collectibles galore. We've got a lot of participants taking care of that. And also, you definitely don't want to miss anything in that hour, because we also have over $1,000 in collectible giveaways happening.
Oh,
That's so much going on.
All these giveaways, and then you can come in and peruse. You can make some purchases as well. You can get Freddy Krueger's. What is this?
Andres Jones from A Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah.
He got killed by Freddy Krueger. He's going to be at the show also. So don't miss this show. Bring your Nightmare on Elm Street 4 videotape and you can sign there.
Okay, so anybody want more information, they can go to the website. But like you said, it's happening this Saturday. This is number 7.
7. One day only. Don't miss it. Fanaticon with 2 C's. Fanaticon.ca. Don't miss it.
Fanaticon.ca with 2 C's. I'm so glad that you came by. This is awesome stuff that you have here. I'll shake your... Oh, sorry. No, I'll take your hand off. There you go. Fanaticon with 2 C's. .ca. Hey, Lance, thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great time this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, why don't we take a look at the sky cam? A little cloudy out there on George Street, but boy, is it muggy. It's going to be another hot one today, so get ready to sweat. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa, 8:53. We'll be right back after this short break. Of a great local business we should highlight as part of our Your Neighborhood feature? Send us an email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And just keep in mind a heat warning in effect for us here in Ottawa. That's the pink on your screen. 35 degrees is the high. We'll feel closer to 43 this afternoon. I'm starting to lose my voice.
Don't worry, I got you. If you go from that alert to what I'm wearing right now, I decided to not change back into my other change suit because on the Capitol Barbecue patio, I was cooking in that suit, so we're staying as cool as possible at this point.
Stay in a cool cotton t-shirt, absolutely. Drink lots of water.
A reminder, France vs. Spain, 3 p.m., TSN, CTV, and Crave, and we got the fever on ourselves.
Nice. That's all from us here at CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. Thanks for watching. Stay cool out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning.